Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Rowan Khalil, and we're back with another episode of NES Vocalized. My original co-host has died. He did not want me to say. He did not want me to say that he has died.
I'm literally right here, but okay.
Rest in peace.
And we have a new host that I found down the street. Noah, please introduce yourself.
Hello there, my name is Noah Manji, and this is our fourth take on the intro.
Second.
Be quiet. And
Second.
I'm here to expose all the torture methods that Rowan uses on us to get us to do this podcast.
You're not allowed to talk about that.
And today we're joined by our favorite social butterfly, Areeba. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Areeba, and apparently I'm a social butterfly, so...
Right, fade.
There's ice to be broken when there are words to be spoken. If you've thought about it, then we've talked about it. Vocalized.
Hello NES, we're back with a new episode of NES Vocalized after a break.
Definitely a long break.
And a break which was mainly caused by episodes ending up in more laughter than talking. Introducing today's topic, we will be talking about social media and how social media affects us, specifically our generation, and also how it has affected businesses and education. We can explore stuff like consumerism.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of positive and negatives to talk about as well. So I'm really excited to be here today.
We're really happy to have you. Anyways, so to kick off,
Thoughts?
What?
Thoughts on social media?
I think social media is destructive
Destructive? Yeah.
and constructive at the same time. I hate when I open my phone because I do the thing which I like to see how many hours I spend on my phone per week. And if you open your phone and you see that you've spent more than 24 hours a week on your phone, that means you've just wasted
A whole
a
day.
seventh of your week. And if you look at it...
But is it a waste if you've enjoyed it though?
Yes, it is. Because the guilt that comes with it stops you from even, you feel guilty. Oh my God, I've used my phone for 7 times a week. Or I used my phone for 30 hours. And
To be honest, 24 hours is a lot. That is a whole day you've spent on your phone.
Yeah, but what could you have been doing instead of that? Nothing much. Or
Yeah, maybe if you're on Khan Academy, I guess it's okay.
But that isn't social media though.
That isn't social media.
Yeah, but what would you have been doing instead of being on social media? You won't be out.
generally, there are so many other, I think it's a positive thing. I like being able to interact with people.
Yeah, for sure.
Instagram, Snapchat, you know me, I'm very active, but now my phone is...
And now
A
you're
social
broke my
social
phone.
media with podcasts.
Yeah, and it allows us to share beautiful things like this creation, our baby.
Wow.
Anyways, but the thing is, at the same time, I feel like there is a spectrum, and if you reach a certain point on that spectrum, it becomes destructive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you start getting influenced by your influencers that you follow on Instagram,
It's so annoying, and I do not follow anyone who calls themselves an
An influencer,
influencer.
yeah, me
It's
too.
Huh?
You don't have a job? Yeah, you got a degree in psychology?
Okay.
I love psychology.
I love psychology too.
Anyways,
So I feel like one of the main problems with social media is the lack of social encounters you have in real life as you're spending your time on social medias like WhatsApp or Snapchat
Or Instagram.
or Instagram. Yeah, so you're being socially isolated, trying to be more social. I feel like that's the problem.
I feel like it kind of contradicts the point of why social
Yeah.
media was started in the first
Because
place.
Rowan, you were just telling me how Facebook was initially a project for a university, right?
Yeah.
And then it branched out with the creator sharing it with his friends and sharing it.
Yeah,
other
all
universities,
these
yeah.
network of people started sharing it with all these other people. out
And the reason social media was made was because they wanted us to connect with our families who live abroad or friends, and maybe for business. One of the main reasons was so that they could easily connect.
Yeah, and I'm starting to remember my primary essays when it would ask in English when it's an argumentative essay, like, what are the benefits of social
Social
media?
media.
I'd be like, oh, it's easier to connect with people, of my family members and friends who live abroad. But now,
Cyberbullying.
Yeah, there's a lot of negative connotations
Yeah.
to it as well. Identity theft, yeah.
yeah, and it comes with, the thing is when you find yourself in this like place of
Bubble.
social isolation or bubble, okay, where you decide that you are not gonna go out and you just spend that time at home, or you decide not to spend time with your family, which happens a lot, and I'm guilty of this.
I feel like it's not that you're not going out to spend time on social media. I feel like social media is a
Outlet.
Yeah, it's an outlet, but it's a way to be social when you can't go out.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it's getting in the way of going out or anything.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like it's
social media, it can be molded into how you want to use it. If you're using it positively, then it has a great positive effect on you. But if you start to let it influence you in a negative way, you go down a very dark path.
Yeah, which can happen when you yourself it can cause you to not want to interact with people. I mean, let's say you're on social media for such a long period of time, and there are all these positives, yes, but there are all these negative posts and all these negative things that people share, which end up influencing people's mentality and feelings in a negative way, and so they end up viewing themselves in a negative way,
Yeah, like
and
there
therefore
are-
they try to hide.
So basically what would happen is that you could see multiple posts from different friends of yours, and they look really happy going out with their family or friends, and you compare it to your life. And this has happened to some of my friends. They will compare it to their own life, and they think about it, and they're like, well, when we go out, we're not that happy. We don't have as much fun. And what they start to think is that, oh, their life is way better than mine, and if I can never reach that point, what is the point in trying? And they start to slowly spiral into depression or other mental health problems because they are being influenced in a negative way. And that's why what Rowan said works, that it can go both ways.
I have been enlightened.
And then also, just to add on something that Areeba said, and all the stuff you see in social media, so many things are so superficial. There's
Yeah.
this one thing
I
that
agree
I'm
completely.
almost scared of, is that you're living for your social media.
Oh,
Definitely.
like what you see on someone's Instagram post is their best, and you compare it to your life, and you think that, oh, I don't have it all. And for some people, it pushes you to work more, but for some people, it's a very big demotivator.
Yeah, I fully understand that, because over the summer I went out for 2 months, and then it was all for like a few pictures that I posted on my Snapchat story, and those were just the highlights. Really, I have no other pictures that are I don't feel are worth sharing with social media. So it's definitely the highlights of someone's life, and it can demotivate someone, because
Yeah.
you always see someone else living in their highlights, and you start to think that that's how someone lives normally.
Yeah.
One time, I went to a pool, and
Okay.
and I saw this woman. She came with her 2 kids. She put them on, like, in their
floaties and-
Yeah, she took photos of them, talking on the phone the entire time. And they're like, "Mommy, come join us, whatever." She's like, "Stop talking, I'm talking on the phone." After she finished, she took a few pictures, talked on the phone again. They kept trying to talk to their mom. She finished her call, packed the thing up, and she left.
Yeah, and those kind of interactions really make me sad about it, because me and my mom have a very close relationships. I will always put my phone away when I'm talking to her and give her all my attention. But your story reminds me of something that happened to me in the past, and this is very collective towards all of the students who would have done the Duke of Edinburgh Award. When we went on silver and they took our phones away from us for like a few days, we were like, oh, our phones are being taken away. How are we meant to contact, whatever? We had them, one, in case of emergency, if anything happened to any one of us, which we were only allowed to open if there was a terrible accident. But what I realized that when we came back and we got our phones back, I just stared
Just
at
bored,
it.
yeah.
I didn't miss it at all. Like when we were out there actually interacting, sharing stories about our life, making jokes and puns and going through it all together as a team, what I realized was that we're so dependent on social media that really you don't really need it. You can live without it easily.
No, but that's the thing, right? You had other people on the Duke of Edinburgh
Yeah.
Award, right? If you're by yourself in your house, locked in your house, and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna give up social media, That's not really possible,
Yeah,
right?
that's
You
why-
have the need, it's a basic human need to socialize, and you're gonna go onto social media because you can contact your friends.
And I get that personal need to socialize because I can't live without actually being surrounded by
Yeah, for
friends
sure.
of mine.
That's
I
why
get
you're on
really-
this podcast.
I get really sad if I don't spend some time in my day talking to my friends or socializing with them a
deep.
little bit. That helps me
I
as a
do
person in
think-
general.
Though from time to time, you take a break.
You need a detox.
And I realized that because me and my phone, I love it very much.
You
My
definitely-
phones, my numbers, anyone
Your
who's
business phone, your podcast phone, and your regular
It's really frustrating because you end up like really craving it.
You need
Yeah.
to check Snapchat
Yeah,
or
there is
Instagram.
nothing around you. And the thing is, I spend a lot of time on my phone. Not even gonna like hide that. And when I had no phone on me, I just realized how it can be like less important. I started doing other things. Like yes, I use my laptop. I use my laptop a lot, and I watch a lot of series or I read, and I just started giving time for all these other things. But I only realized how destructive they are when I didn't have a phone. Went out with my friends for one of my friends' birthday. Everyone had their phone, and I was just sitting there. And I was trying to like converse, and they were like, "Oh my God, look at this very funny joke."
Yeah, I hate
And I
that.
was like, "Can we put our phones down?"
Yeah.
And it made me so conscious of that. Like even when I had my phone back and I went out, I was like, I'm not gonna use that thing
Yeah.
because it's really annoying, and that's why I realized how it could be destructive.
And you know how
Like, you're in a
another way
social
it's really
situation.
destructive is the whole notifications.
Yeah.
And then you are compelled to actually check it once you get the notifications. So what I started doing was I turned off all my notifications for WhatsApp, Instagram, or Snapchat because even while I was studying, at this point I literally even turned my Wi-Fi off. I disconnect
Same.
when I'm studying or like when I need to get work done that doesn't include a new like I wouldn't need access to my phone. And the only time I ever check it is to check if I need to ask someone for homework or whatever.
Going back to what you said
Yeah.
about you being in like a circle with all your friends and all of them being on their phones and you asking them to put their phone down. So I was on Instagram, ironic social media, haha, and I saw this meme no, it wasn't a meme, it was a picture about how it's not normal to ask someone to put their phone down in a conversation.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a phone by like grade 6, it's like, whoa, why do you not have a phone? And it's also a safety thing, but people look at you differently because you're not on social media.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, how do you not have Instagram or how do you not have Snapchat?
I remember when I was in year 6, this girl was like, "What's your Instagram?" And I was like, "What's Instagram?" And she gave me this look.
Big stinky eye.
Yeah, she was like, and I genuinely felt stupid. I thought she was talking about a celebrity or something that I was supposed to know, and I was like, what's that?
You did that to me.
I did that to you?
I remember we were having a conversation, then you just started talking about a bunch of celebrities, and I didn't know who they were because I'm not
Oh, yeah.
on social
No,
media
I-
that often.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. She shared her
Why are
knowledge.
you bringing that conversation back? I thought you didn't want to talk about it.
But yes,
again.
social
Oh, yeah, I
media and
remember
its
saying
effects on us.